Hello, hello. Happy day. How are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I just want to double check to make sure that I can be heard. Yes, today is going to be a lovely conversation and visualization on purpose. So, yep, I can be heard. Beautiful. So I invite you to say hello. I invite you to share with your friends. I invite you to just have a good time, settle in, and converse with me. We can continue this conversation in the A Bubbly Life Facebook group. And welcome and thank you. So, for those who might not know who I am Tiara, aka T, the Wine Diva, and I love to help you live a bubbly life. What does that mean? That basically means I love helping you to live in your purpose. When we live in our purpose, we can't help but be joyful, right? We can't help but be joyful. And when we're joyful, we work and we come from a place of light and love. And when we talk and we speak and we come from a place of light and love, can't help but be compassionate to others. And when more and more people are compassionate and loving to one another, we create a beautiful, compassionate, and loving world. And so this is to impact the world. I want everyone to live a bubbly life because we are all worthy. We are all deserving of living in our purpose. And so we have to figure out what that is, right? I think that is like a huge part of this journey, is figuring out what is our purpose. What are we here for? What are we meant to do? What really lights us up? Yes. And sometimes we can get thrown off the path, especially with people, like outside people, with society, everyone else telling us their opinions. And you know what? The only opinion that matters is your own. Okay. So today we're going to talk a little bit about it. I'll share a little bit about my story, and then I want to take the time to actually take time to have you sit and visualize your ideal day. We did this exercise in Master the Brain Game, which is a beautiful program run by Jen Kohler. If you know her, shout her out. She's amazing. And it is also part of her Embody Reiki program. And I know that she is taking new people until the end of February. So that is tomorrow as of this recording. So yes, I'm like seeing like commentary coming through. Hello, Melissa. How are you? Girl, you always been bubbly, beautiful self. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, Rosalie. Good to see you again. Yes. So in Embody Reiki, we're learning so much about ourselves. We're learning so much about our purpose, our values, and all of that. And today was a beautiful practice of envisioning our ideal day. And when we can envision what our ideal day is, like no matter how far in the future that is, but basically when we are in a space of like, we know exactly what we want, we know what we want our life to look like. It can be like all of our goals have been achieved. Yes. So we're like, it's far, it might be far in the future. It might be like, you might realize that you're actually living your dream. Yes. So when we're living in our dream, and what does that look like? And where is the gap? When we can figure out what that gap is, we can set smaller goals so we can achieve what it is that our dream is, that our purpose is, that we are meant to do. All right. Thank you so much, Melissa, for inviting our friends. I appreciate you. Alrighty, so a little bit about like me and my life and like how I am embarking on this journey. So I gotta say, like I have been told so many different ways, like what I'm doing wrong with my life, or why what I want to do is not the right thing. And I think back, like, let me know, have you ever had someone ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like when you were younger, like, was that something that was ever asked of you? I know that that was definitely something that was asked of me multiple times by many different like adults and people and whatever. And what I realize now that I did not realize back then is that those people all had their own perspectives and their own limitations to which they gave their opinion about and towards what my life is supposed to look like. So I remember being like I don't know, 3 or 4, and someone would ask, what do you want to be? And I'm like, I want to be a model. Like, I want to like walk down the runway and like be like fabulous or whatever. I don't know where that came from. Maybe I saw it on TV. Who knows where that idea came from? I just very specifically remember wanting to be a model. I remember like people pulling out like cameras and like me, I like always wanting to strike a pose and like hit a Vogue, whatever. I don't know. We didn't listen to Madonna, so I don't know where the voguing came from, but that's what I wanted to do. I think I saw somewhere on TV where like, you had some models walked with like books on their head. So I would find like the biggest book, which was probably the dictionary. And I would get this big dictionary and I would put it on my head and I would like walk around the house with it and like, strut my stuff and try to make sure that I balanced it on my head so I could have perfect posture because I was going to be a model. Right. And understand that I have always been a voluptuous girl. Like I have always been overweight. I have always been seen as maybe not the like healthiest or the most like attractive in terms of like what society deems attractive, right? And so I had people try to set what they called a realistic expectation for me, and people basically trying to say you can't do that because one, you don't look a certain way, so therefore you can't be a model, and two, like there's no one around us that has achieved that, so you probably can't achieve that either. And so people only knew what they knew, right? And so I was only given what they knew as an opportunity. Thank you, Melissa. I know I'm beautiful inside and out, and so are you. Yes. Melissa says, I always said I wanted to be a teacher or a model too. I love that. I love it. I love it. And so like there's nothing wrong with like what these people were saying, like in terms of, I understand now that they were trying to protect me, but when we're talking to our children, when we're talking to like the youths, and no, I'm not a parent, but I'm going to give some unsolicited advice. I think it's very important that we let them see and try and do the things that they want to do. We shouldn't necessarily shut them down. You don't know what they can achieve, right? You don't know. So like, shut your pow. Let them figure it out for themselves. Maybe they figure out that they don't want to be, because you know what? I'm 31 now and I don't want to be a model. That's not what I wanted. I have now taken time to kind of figure out a little bit more about myself and where I want to go. But that was a step in my journey. And it would have been okay if I tried to pursue it and like fell on my face and then realized that wasn't it, right? I knew at a young age I wanted to be something big. That's all. And so I basically put the things that I'd seen into that spot. Like, what do I want to be? Like, I wanted to be in the spotlight. I wanted to be, something great. I wanted to have a world impact. I wanted to be a household name. I still want these things, right? But I didn't know exactly how that was going to look, or what that was supposed quote unquote to look like, right? So what did I know about these things? I knew that models that fit that like description. I knew that actors and singers fit that description. I knew that I like, in terms of singing, I didn't have a horrible voice, so I figured singer was definitely a thing. But like people kept saying like, you weren't good enough. Like, you're all right. Like, that's cool. Like, you can sing at my little event or here or there or whatever. But like, in terms of like doing it big time, like that's not going to happen. Like, those are things I've heard as well. Acting was received a little bit differently, and I think acting came a little bit later in life for me, like around high school. So I think people started to look more like me. There was a lot more representation of, bigger girls, people of color, and different and positive lights on TV. And so it became more okay to kind of want that, but still there was still that like, let's have a realistic expectation put upon me so that I like didn't get my feelings hurt. So I wasn't, upset if I didn't get wherever it is that I wanted to go. And that is okay. But understanding for ourselves, we have to be like strong for ourselves to understand that like, okay, that's someone else's opinion and that's all well and good, but how can we figure out what it is that we actually want? And if that person's not like going to be like, yes, for me, then like, we don't need to talk about our dreams with them. Yeah. That's something that I learned, is that like, do I trust you enough to talk about my dreams with you? Like, are you going to support me? Are you going to try to like hold me back in your form of protection? Or like, are you going to just straight out tell me no? Because you know what? I don't need that energy. And that's not what we want to co-create with. We want to co-create with what really is going to light us up. Yes. But through this journey, regardless of what other people said or whatever, I still fought to like do the things that make me happy. Yes. I do the things that really just like let me be me. And so acting was definitely a huge part of that. Doing musicals, being on stage. And I knew and I know that that's what I wanted to be on stage. I love being on stage. It lights me up. But what I don't love auditioning, honey. Oh, can I tell you? I do not. I do not. I'm not a fan. I don't like the feeling of being judged, because that's essentially what you do when you walk into that audition room. Like, I don't know if anyone else has ever had the experience of like walking into a space and people just look at you and like you're just a number, and they'll be like, you know what, 3, 5, 7, and 9, you get to stay. If you aren't any of those numbers, you can leave. I have not sang for you. I have not danced for you. I have not shown you anything but my face and like what I look like. And you just said no. How rude, right? And so that is like definitely energy I do not want to work with. Like, I will totally do another show, but you know what? I have this feeling of like, you know what? I'm amazing. I'm fabulous. If you want to call me and say, hey, you got the part, you can be Motormouth, like Mabel or whatever in Hairspray, go for it. Like, yes. But am I like ready to like run to the audition studio and do all the things? Not so much anymore. But what I do know is that I love talking to people. I love speaking to many. I love being on that stage. That spotlight does not bother me. It does not make me shy away. So what can I do that brings me that same energy, that doesn't bring me the like that the audition room has? Melissa says, I'm happy doing my arts and crafts. That's beautiful, Melissa. And I love that. And so other things that I kind of have noticed as I've like gone through my purpose and gone through my life is that like I have had this like competitive edge. I've imprinted, I think this is the word I was going for, imprinted this like competitive nature in myself of like putting myself up against someone based off of my looks, based off of successes, based off of all of these things, and it really isn't serving me. But what I've noticed as I'm looking back of like why I was upset, like how come this person is more successful than me? We started in the same place. How come this person is more successful than me? They don't look that much different than I do. How come they got the role instead of me? They're not that much more talented or anything like that. How come? And like, what's wrong with me? And all of these like, woe is me kind of things. And what I'm realizing is that it's not so much that there's anything wrong with me. It's not so much that like, they're any better than me. It's more of the fact that like maybe right now this isn't my purpose. This isn't my opportunity. It's meant for them. And maybe what I was going for was not at all what I wanted to begin with. And that's what I'm finding is that like, okay, I was going for these things and going, but it felt like such a struggle. It felt like it was so hard and it wasn't bringing me joy. And even when I got to the other side and I got the role or I got the thing, I'm not happy. I got the job and now I'm 2 months in and I'm like, oh my God, I hate sitting behind a desk. Why would anyone do this for the rest of their life? That's my journey, not somebody else's. If you like being behind a desk, knock yourself out, friend. But like, I like having this feeling of like, oh my gosh, why this, why that? And then I'm realizing that like those people are living in their purpose. Those people like dove head first into whatever that thing, that opportunity, whatever it is, they're giving it their all. Meanwhile, I'm over here, like I'm at some sort of like pool world. I'm envisioning like multiple pools, right? And I'm like, dipping my toe over here and I'm dipping my toe over there and I'm dipping my toe over here. So I'm not like fully committed to anything, but like, just having like, playing around. And it's good to play around. It's good to like see which, like where you want to go and what you want to do. But if you're going to take some time kind of like playing around and figuring out what is it that like really lights us up, you might move along your path a little bit slower than others. And that is totally okay. Some person might have dove like headfirst into the deep end over here at this pool and they're like I don't know, let's say engineering. They dove headfirst into the engineering pool and now they're like super successful, making 6-7 figures, doing whatever. But you know what? They dove headfirst in, but they didn't really know if they liked it. It was just like something that their parent told them to do, or they heard that it would make them like get them a good job or whatever. And then they're like in their 40s and they realize like, you know what? I really like don't like this. I need to make a shift. Right? Like that's a thing. But they dove head first. And so they were committed and they were able to like get really, really far where they're going. But if we're taking time to like, step and like try things, we don't have to like dive headfirst into the thing and then like have to like come all the way back up for for air and like get out of the pool and go somewhere else and like figure it out. And like, it doesn't have to be quite as crazy. I think society puts so much pressure on like a little 18-year-old to be like, you need to know what you want to do right now, right this very second, and commit to like 4 years of like a really expensive piece of paper that says you read a book on how you did the thing, but on how to do whatever it is that you want to do. But then you're gonna like get paid shittily for like doing the thing until you can like move up this like hierarchy ladder and figure it out. And like now you're in corporate whatever, and maybe you like your life and maybe you don't. Boom. No, I don't like to like attribute to that. I think it's great. Like if you're 18 and you know exactly what you want to do, I think that's beautiful. I think that's amazing, and go like full throttle into it. But if you don't, if you're like, I know what I like, and I have no concept of how to create a career out of that. I don't have no concept of how to create a life out of that. It is okay to play. It is totally okay to play. Life is a journey and life is supposed to be fun. Yes, Rosalie, we have our whole lives to continuously evolve and become. It's so beautiful. Like there's no point in like being at the end when you're just beginning. I've had some thoughts of like, oh, I'm not successful. I'm 31 and I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire by the time I'm 30 when I was like, I don't know, 15. And now obviously I am a failure because I am not there yet. Honey, like, in this day and age, I could live a whole another 100 years. Okay. I've only lived a fraction of my life. And I'm sure many of you have only lived a fraction of your own. So time is like irrelevant. It is an illusion. It doesn't matter where you are in this like what we call age bracket, whatever. Let society say whatever it wants to. Like play, figure yourself out, and do the things. Do the things that make you happy and joyful, and find what feels good. Yes. Melissa says, my husband was in air condition and heating and went back to school and now is an electrical engineer and he loves his job. I love that. I love that. He went back to school to find his passion, find what he really, really wants to do. And I say it is beautiful and amazing and wonderful to do just that, to find what we really love, what really lights us up. What do we want? Our ideal day. Like, and when I say ideal day, I mean not like I'm on vacation in Costa Rica doing whatever and not in my real life. I'm talking about like this is just a normal traditional Wednesday. And you wake up, you go through your whole day and you go back to bed. Like, what does your like normal Wednesday look like? Because when we can like think about, okay, so this is my day in the life, just a typical Wednesday, when I am living in my purpose, when I am living my dream life, when we can see what that looks like, when we can kind of visualize what that looks like, when we get that clarity allows us to really focus in on like, how can we align what our current life looks like to what this ideal life looks like? Yeah. So like we can see the little pieces that are missing. If you're like for me, like, okay, all right, I'm thinking about my ideal life. I'm thinking about what it looks like. I'm thinking about like where I'm living, and I wake up and I can hear the ocean. If I know that like in my dream, I have a house that's by the water. I have a house that's by the sea, like literally by the ocean, right? That I can hear it, like in my home. If I know that that's not where I am right now, because I am in downtown Los Angeles, so I know that's not where I am right now. How can we make that happen? And obviously there are a lot of shifts and things that need to happen for that to happen, but just little things, right? So you can see, okay, how much are there big shifts that need to happen to make your ideal life or your ideal day look like, excuse me, your day now to look like your ideal day? Or is it just like little tweaks that need to happen? Are there like just little things that need to like shift and whatever? And can we bring it in today? Maybe your ideal day is like, you want to like wake up and like have tea, but you don't have a teapot. And you just need to go to like I don't know, World Market and get a teapot. I bought a teapot from World Market this week. It was like $15. It's beautiful blue, like a teal seafoam blue, and it's amazing. And I love it. And it was like $15. And I was like, yes. So, it's these little things. Maybe it's just like you want to wake up earlier in the morning and like sit in your robe and meditate. And that would be beautiful for your ideal day. Well, do you one have a robe? Do you need to like go on Amazon and buy a robe? Do you just need to set your alarm a little bit earlier so you can have that meditation alone time? Are there like little tweaks or are there big tweaks? Okay. So right now I think it's going to be a good time to set in and start this little meditation or a visualization. So I invite you to close your eyes if you are in a safe space to do so. And take a deep breath. Imagine that you are just waking up. Let's go with just a normal, typical Wednesday when you are living in your dream life. You have your dream job. You are doing and living exactly the way that you want to live, that like truly lights you on fire. So you're like waking up. What does that look like? Is there anyone next to you when you wake up? Are there little fur babies around you? Are there not? Are you alone? There's no judgment in any of these things. It's just how does it feel? Like when you're like waking up and you're stretching and you're ready for your day and you're waking up in a joyful way. Like you're excited for your day. Not this like, oh, humdrum, whatever, but like you're excited. Yes. You're waking up excited, ready to go. What do you do next? Do you like get up, go to the bathroom? Do you dance around? Do you do prayer? Do you meditate in bed? Do you get up and go somewhere to meditate? If that is in your practice, how does that look? Do you grab some breakfast? Do you share your breakfast with anyone? Or do you have breakfast alone? After your breakfast, what do you do then? Do you go to work? Are you rushing around the house or like moving quickly, or are you taking it like easeful, step by step, and do a little this, do a little that, do a little cleaning, do a little whatever? Like, how does that look? What does it look like to you? All right, so you're midday, you've done your midday, whatever it looks like for you, and then it's like lunchtime. What does lunch look like? Are you going out for lunch? Are you making your lunch? Do you have meals already prepared? So all you have to do is open your refrigerator and pop whatever on a plate or pop it in the microwave, whatever. What does it taste like? Does it make your body happy? Are you excited for it? Think of all those things, yes? And then are you having lunch with anyone? Are you having lunch alone? Are you hanging out with little furry fur babies? Or maybe they're not fur babies. Maybe they're babies of another kind. What does it look like for you? And then after lunch, what is the rest of your day? Are you meeting with other people? Are you doing live videos? Do you have clients? Are you at a workspace? Are you at like a rehearsal? What is it all like? What does it feel like? What does it look like? I love it. And from there, we can move into like the afternoon and the evening time, winding down time for most people. Are you winding down? Are you like gearing up to go out and do something else? Are you going to the gym? Are you going to do some yoga? Are you going to walk the beach or walk by the water, go for a hike? What is it? What does it look like? And then after all of that, coming home for some dinner, or maybe you're already still at home, so maybe you're just going to the kitchen for dinner. Are you cooking dinner? Are you going to go out for dinner? Are you ordering dinner in? Are you sharing your dinner with anyone? Are you having your dinner alone? What is for dinner? Does it make you happy? After you have your dinner, what's your evening going to be like? Or is it in front of the TV? Is it reading a good book? Is it stretching? Do you have an evening ritual? Maybe you have an evening ritual instead of a morning ritual. Maybe you have a morning ritual and an evening ritual. It's all good because this is about you and your ideal day. And there's no judgment of what you have and what you don't have included in your routine. Now your ideal day is over. You're getting ready to go to bed, climbing into the sheets. What do your sheets feel like? What do they smell like? And you're getting ready and you're like excited for the next day. You're grateful for the beautiful day that you had and you're gearing up for a new one. You're laying down to have your dreams. Are you cuddling up next to anyone? Are you just nice and taking up the bed by yourself? What does it feel like? Envision that. Now I invite you to open your eyes back up. How did that feel? What did that feel like? Do you have the life that you envisioned already? Are there little things that you need to add in or want to add in to make it that way? What shifts can we make and change? What little goals can you set for yourself to help get you to that ideal day? I invite you to think about that. Really think about that. You can journal on it. You can meditate on it. You can pull cards on it. Whatever that feels like. Melissa says it felt great. Melissa says, I see you there. It will happen for you. Thank you. I love that. I love that. Speaking of a card, I think I want to pull a card for you guys. I have this beautiful deck called Oracle of the Seven Energies by Colette Baron Reed. It was a gift from my amazing friend Pam Heck Rawrod, and a beautiful contributor in the co-op group that I am a contributor in as well. She is amazing. If you need help being organized, if you are someone that is an entrepreneur and runs your own business, and need a project specialist, forget virtual assistant, a project specialist, she is your woman. She's amazing, and I highly recommend that you tap into her. So I'm going to pull a card from this deck for you guys, and let's see what happens, what comes up for us. This card, if you are listening, it is meant for you. The message is meant for you right now in this time, whenever you are listening. Ooh. And the card is a grand symphony. I'm just can you hear it? Can you hear the bells? Can you hear the horns? Can you hear the music? The music that is coming for you as you live in your purpose. I feel like when I think about walking on stage, like your theme music, yes? What is your theme music? What is the theme music of your life? And when you can hear it, when you can feel into it, there's that feeling of your theme music. That is you living in your perfect purpose. And so when we live in our perfect purpose, we feel that vibration. Music has vibration. Music has frequency. So let's get into that frequency of purpose. Rosalie says, I'm hoping to have a dream day today, waiting on some chairs now and gonna go walk on the beach. I love that. I love it. I love walking on the beach. The beach is just so moving for me. It is my happy place. I love the smell of the ocean air. I love the way, hearing the waves flow. It does something to my spirit. It's just, I think I was born to be a mermaid. Honestly, it is quite amazing. So I do want to invite you, if you're not already a part of the A Bubbly Life Facebook community, to come join us over there. Earlier today, I did a tarot reading for the week as well as for the month of March. So you can hop over there, check that out, and get your message for that. I will also be starting doing one-on-one readings for people here pretty soon. So look out for that. I will be posting more details in the A Bubbly Life group. So if you want a reading, please reach out. I would love to chat more about that with you. And I love you so big. And I thank you so much for joining. Let me know more about what is your vision? Where do you want to go? What are your dreams? What are your goals? Please share them with me. Please share them in the A Bubbly Life group. And I love you lots. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.